Hi, and welcome back to the Magento Mechanics course. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to edit the home page and add some content to it. First thing we did was added a logo. We want to change the size of it. And the next logical step here is to change the content of the home page to reflect something that we want. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to head over to our admin section and then log in. And once in there, we're going to go to the CMS section. Here we're going to click on pages. We're going to learn about the static blocks and the rest of this list, but we're first going to go to pages today. And we're going to click on the one called home, where the URL key is home. Just a little bit of an idea of what's going on here. Each page is labeled with a title. That's just what's going to say here. As you can see, it says home page, and that's where it's coming from. The URL key is the actual URL to get there. So over here it says home. As you can see here, it doesn't say home, but if I were to, I was just getting the home page. But if I were to type /home, it'll take me to the same place. Essentially, home is just another way, is the real URL, and the fake URL is just taking me to home without displaying it. So that's why it might be confusing at first, looking for the home page here. There's a layout here. This layout is telling us how it's set up. It's saying 2 columns with the right bar. As you can see, there's 2 columns to this page. There's this middle section, 1 column, and then there's here we have the compare products and the my cart. You have the status of enabled, and then you have a date created and modified. That's just to keep, so you can know when, if you have multiple copies, you can have multiple copies of the same page, and one of them would be disabled. Or all of them, I'm sorry, would be disabled, and one of them would be enabled. You could choose which ones by seeing which data was modified. Now, in here, we clicked on it. We're going to go into content, and as you can see, there's this editor here which we could do stuff. So we're just going to add some content like welcome to our new homepage, and we're going to try to add an image. So I'm going to show you how that works here. As you can see over here, it's a fairly simple, straightforward text editor. I could, let's bold the word homepage, and let's add an image. I'll go here to add an image. We're going to put a picture of our CEO. I downloaded here our CEO picture. Once we have to click upload files to put it up. Now we can choose the file. Essentially, once we upload a file, we'll have a bunch of files here that are uploaded. We could choose from them later on, so we don't have to keep re-uploading them. We'll click Insert File. We could also put an image URL. We can also put, just straight from Google or something. It's asking me if I want to go ahead without putting an image description. I'm going to say cancel because let's say someone's images are not working. I'll just say it'll come up with the description, at least in text, CEO of our company. And then we'll click Insert. I'm just going to click Save and continue edit. We could just click Save Page, but I want to show you some things after this. We're going to go ahead to our home page and refresh. And as you can see, it's right there. As you see, it still has this word home page. Let's take that out and remove that. Let's hit Save and continue. Let's refresh our page. And here we are. Welcome to our new homepage and our picture of our new CEO. The reason I'm pointing this out, even though really there's other ways to do this, to change the homepage probably you would want to have a separate template, which we're going to get to in further lessons, where you can have like some custom functionality, like you might have like a slider or some other stuff going on over there. The reason I'm showing you this is because in Magento there are many ways to do the same thing. Sometimes the quickest way, sometimes the best way. So in this case, for example, let's assume that this homepage text is going to change quite often. Let's say the marketing team is constantly changing some of the text. It would be a little bit of a waste of time if we were to have it in a template and a programmer would have to change the text every time. Plus, it introduces the possibility of the programmer making a mistake of what text should go there. It'll become like a broken telephone, and it becomes very inefficient. Here, we have a backend page where anybody can log into. We can give them credentials. We can give the marketing guys a place to log in. They can go to their page. They can change the page how they want it with this little editor, and they're good to go. Another thing I want to point out and mention is this button where you can click Show Hide Editor. And here, as you can see, we can see all the HTML that generates this page. You can see there's a P tag here for paragraph, welcome to our new homepage. They put into strong. You see it's not so so standards friendly, but it has your HTML here. And here we have our image tag. You'll notice that the source over here, instead of having a full source, it has this thing called media URL surrounded by curly braces. This is actually an interesting feature that the Magento CMS comes with, which could be very helpful. There's this thing called insert variable button here. What you can do is that there's a bunch of variables that you could choose from. Sometimes like different types of URLs or piece of information. So we could, for example, an example of what we could do is, let's say we want to surround this tag, this picture, that when you click on it, it should go to the About Us page. Here's the About Us page. I'm going to open it in a new tab so we can see it. So see, it says About Magento Demo Store right now. But let's take this and we're going to add this A tag here around the image. We're going to add the link. And we're going to close our A tag. And when we save and continue this, when we save this and we come here, we should be able to click on it. Not clicking yet. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I see the A is very small, so we have to go towards the top here to click it. No, actually it's something else. We made a mistake in our href here. We spelled it wrong. So let's do that again. Href. That should be better. If it's not valid HTML, it won't save on the page. Now it's a button. Let's click on it. As you can see, it's taking us to the About Magento store. But something we could do that could save ourselves time is, as you see, you have this 127.01, this whole long thing before the About Magento store. We could remove this, and we could insert a variable here, and we could do our unsecure URL. It's not anything that's very, it's not a secure page. And as you see now, it added this thing called config path web unsecure base URL. We could save and continue. And if we go back to our home page, it will take us, oh, whoops. It'll take us to the page. It forgot to add the index.php here. As you can see, we add the index.php. So all we would have to do here is add the index after that. The advantage of that is, if you change when you're going from your development environment to your you're going from development to staging and then from staging to production, you don't want to have to go to each one of these things and start changing them again. This way, whatever the base URL is for the page, for that website, that's what will come up. So let's go back now to our home page and see if it did its job. Now it takes us to the right place. So the index.php actually is an interesting point brought up, which we'll talk about further on. It's about how we could have server URL rewrites and how that works. That's a separate issue we'll talk about in another video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope to see you back soon.